Good morning. I hope that your weekend is off to an amazing start. For myself, I am going to be taking it easy this weekend. I worked really hard around the house this week. So I am going to relax, relate, and release this weekend. And if you recognize where that line is from, let me know down in the comment section. A couple of weeks ago, my husband and I went on a little vintage shopping date, and it was just really nice. We have an area where we live where there are a few vintage stores, and sometimes they have live music and there's restaurants, and we just headed down there and walked around for a bit. And there weren't very many people out the day that we went, so it was particularly nice. As someone who loves to thrift and to go to vintage markets and flea markets, it's really nice to have a husband who enjoys doing those things as well. He really likes to look through everything and find those little treasures that can be exciting in that way. So it's really nice to get to do something like this with him. I really fell in love with this mirror here. I like the size and that it's not too small or too large. It's the perfect piece for one of those areas that you may not exactly know how to style, and it would also go really well on open shelving in a kitchen. These were some other frames that I thought were beautiful that you could either put a picture or artwork or even have a mirror cut to fit those frames. I thought those were really gorgeous, as well as this brass bell. I like things like this because you can put them around your house and they really bring a lot of beauty and interest. We also came across this rusty, dusty old piece that looked like a torture device, and apparently it was a boot cleaner. As we moved on, we came across some items that looked a little bit less dangerous. We saw these really beautiful hanging planters that I thought were just gorgeous and that would add so much character to any space. I always check out the jewelry when I go to vintage markets or flea markets because there's always really pretty unique pieces. One of the other favorite areas that I always like to check out is the linens, the tablecloths and napkins, because I love tablecloths. I think that they are such a great way to elevate a table, a tablescape. I have some of my grandmother's old tablecloths and napkins, and I love using those to decorate. Vintage plates can also be really pretty, especially if you pair them with something more modern on your tables. I really liked the color of this plate. I don't know how old it actually was, but I thought it was a beautiful plate. I really loved this jug. First of all, it was huge, and I really like oversized, large pieces because I think they give you tons of impact. I am always looking for pieces that are different and unique and that are really eye-catching. So even something like this, it looks like just a junky pile of wood, but it was old wooden gutters. And I just like to think of ways that I can use these to make things look more architectural or just to add some interest somewhere. This next piece was a piece that I thought was absolutely gorgeous and so beautiful. For some reason, I am obsessed with having one of these pitchers and bowls in my bedroom. I don't really have a space for it, which is the only reason that I haven't purchased one yet, but I thought that particular one was really pretty. I like the colors and I like the little flecks of gold. I loved this area as well. I loved this beautiful cabinet and these gorgeous baskets. Thought these baskets were so pretty, and the way that the light went through them, they almost looked like they were sparkling. And I could just imagine that, on a shelf somewhere in your home in front of a window doing the same thing. And I was drawn to this beautiful driftwood. And these are the types of pieces that my husband will bring home for me when he goes to the the river, he'll bring back things like that. And I just like to place them around the house in different areas for decor. I really wanted to show you guys these old wood floats because I know that for me, sometimes I may want something as a vase or a bowl filler, and I like for my fillers to be very unique and a little bit more special than something that you might find prepackaged as a filler in the store. I saw this little slab of wood and I just thought it was absolutely beautiful, and I had to have that. I think it would be so great as a riser and just so many possibilities, but I definitely had to pick up that slice of wood. This old tobacco can I thought was a really pretty piece. I love the color of the canister and I love the gold top. I would never have thought this was a tobacco can, but it would make a really cute little canister somewhere in your home. And I really, really liked this vessel here. It was so beautiful. It's got a lot of great wear and tear on it. It was a really great price for such a beautiful piece. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw something shiny and I really like shiny things, especially if they're gold. So these pieces definitely caught my eye. There are some gold and copper pieces, and these little brass cups also caught my eye. I think they're so pretty. I love this dresser and the way that you can see the raw wood and that distressing. After that, we headed to another market across the street, and this one was very different. It was a lot more formal and a lot more polished and a lot more expensive, which is one reason that I actually sometimes prefer to find vintage pieces at thrift stores. I find that you can find the best prices there because they don't necessarily know how special or valuable those pieces actually are. I found another pitcher and basin set there. I thought this one was so beautiful, and I'm telling you, I am gonna start this trend. Everybody is gonna want a pitcher and basin set in their bedroom or their bathroom. They are just so chic to me. This was an absolutely stunning piece. This gigantic wood block island. It was so beautiful, and they had a whole collection of cast iron skillets. This was another one of my favorite pieces of the day. This beautiful hand painted armoire, just really, really gorgeous. My favorite area in this market had to be this area here where there were a lot of cement and concrete pieces. I really like the rough, really textured, really soulful things at a flea market or a vintage market a lot of the time, because I think that it contrasts nicely with newer pieces that you can purchase at stores like Target or Home Goods. These are the pieces that really, really make your home unique and make your home sing. So that's why I'm drawn to all these things with a lot of texture. These ceramic river balls would make, again, really interesting, unique fillers. And some of these things would just make nice found objects. They also had some beautiful vessels. They were a bit pricey, in my opinion, something that you could replicate yourself. A few weeks ago, I took you guys to Home Goods and I showed you some of the wire fans that they have that sort of replicate these vintage fans. And I really liked this concrete sphere. You could take something like that and use it to style a console table, to style your coffee table. There are so many possibilities. This entire area just had some really beautiful, really interesting pieces. They also had these fountain basins, and they were so grand and so beautiful. This next vessel was a few feet tall and extremely heavy, but a really striking piece that you could definitely use outdoors or indoors. This next item was definitely one of my favorite finds of the day. This gigantic stone mortar was just such an absolutely beautiful sculptural piece that would add so much interest in your home. I think this is just an absolutely amazing, stunning piece. I really wish now that I had asked them how old that piece was. I'm just curious to know. And right here, we just have some really beautiful aged pots. They just have a lot more personality than your standard terracotta pot. Please take a moment to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much for being here. Until next time.